Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Now this is a video I've always wanted to do, but I ummed and ahed, to be honest with you, once I'd done it, about actually putting it on the channel. It clearly isn't abandoned. This is the Auschwitz Birkenau Museum. Um, it's just a really difficult subject, but I do think it's something that the world needs to see. There are other videos, probably better ones to be honest, on YouTube than this, but this is my attempt at just showing people what I saw that day. Absolutely mind-blowing, like humanity can be this cruel. Obviously there's lots that we couldn't film, but there's also lots that we did film, including the gas chamber, so please be aware that that is going to come at some point in this film. Okay, so let's get into the video. So the next shot's going to be the one everyone knows of Auschwitz Birkenau. This is looking away from the camp, and this is a train station where people were selected either for death or work. Most were selected straight to the gas chambers, and the people arrived in these cattle wagons, like 70 to 80 in one of these, and they're in for days. Can you imagine that? So lots of the camp looks like this, certainly Auschwitz. Neat little buildings like this in rows. A lot of these were accommodation buildings, but others weren't, as we'll discover as this video progresses. So there was next to no sanitation, but the only little bit we found were these sinks and these toilets. I think these were in the medical block. Okay, so this bit's particularly difficult, but these were the suitcases of the people that arrived at Auschwitz that were confiscated by the Nazi guards. Within the camp, there's also human hair as well, which was shaven off the victims. Obviously, we weren't allowed to film that, but there was just thousands upon thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of these suitcases. The scale's just enormous. Okay, well this is the gas chamber at Auschwitz. As I said, we're part of a tour, so we followed a tour guide in. I'm not going to talk in the gas chamber, but this was the first one built. A lot of the gas chambers were destroyed when the Germans retreated, but this one wasn't. So yeah, this was really, really an awful place to be. And cyanide, the doors would be locked. They were told it was showers, the victims were told it was showers, and then cyanide was dropped through the hole in the roof, which I will point out to you. So this is the gas chambers, please, discretion's advised. So there's the cyanide was put into the chamber. So once the gas chambers had finished, prisoners were made to remove the bodies from the gas chambers and take them into the crematoria. This is the crematorium. Obviously, Auschwitz Birkenau had many more. I think there was 5 at Birkenau. And this is where the Nazis tried to hide the crimes. And this is an external shot of the rear of the gas chamber. Block 10 at Auschwitz was the block where the experiments were done, the human experiments, under the supervision of Dr. Joseph Mignolet. And this is another part of the camp which I'm sure you've all heard of. This is the death block. So this is where prisoners would be tried if they were deemed to be planning an escape. And the trial was basically, they were read the name, found guilty, and then they were taken down them stairs there, put up against the blocks, and murdered by the SS guards. This is also where the very, very first tests of cyanide to be used in the gas chambers were completed. So Auschwitz was originally opened purely for the Polish population. Obviously the Nazis wanted to control Polish society, so anyone with an education, be it teachers or anyone who could have any influence, was put into here. And during its lifespan, its 6-year lifespan, before liberation by the USSR, 1.3 million people died here. This was a very incredibly powerful part of the tour. These were literally rooms full of shoes which were taken from the victims. I can't emphasise to you how many shoes there were here. This corridor went on for ages and ages, and it was both sides. So if you think that each, for 2 of these shoes is a person, kind of puts it into perspective how many people died here. Literally hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of shoes. Auschwitz was liberated by the USSR in January 1945, and shortly after this, Rudolf Hess, who was instrumental in the construction of Auschwitz, was actually brought back to Auschwitz and hung in these gallows. He was made to face Auschwitz, so he would be facing the camera position here, and he was executed for his crimes. So that completes my tour of Auschwitz Birkenau. Just to put into perspective the deaths at this camp, 1.1 million Jews died here, 150,000 Polish people, 23,000 Romani people, and 15,000 Soviet prisoners also perished here, along with many other prisoners from around Europe. So the point of this video is just to, show people what happened inside Auschwitz. And as I say, I'm sure there's been many other videos on YouTube which were done to a better quality than this, but this is my attempt